let's say invoices will be thought of in Bitcoin in the future instead of right now. It's, I guess, globally accepted that the US dollar is a good comparative currency when you're invoicing. Do you think that we'll start to switch because it's so universal, if you will?
What I think is there's going to be let's say today there's $500 trillion worth of monetary money in the system. And it's divided between currencies like the euro and the dollar. It's divided in tangible hard assets, maybe real estate, trophy assets, art, gold, silver, Bitcoin. And then there's a portion of it that's sitting in bonds and stocks. And Bitcoin is going to grow from that $600 billion asset to become a $10 trillion asset like gold. Then it will subsume gold and it'll become a 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 trillion asset. And that'll be the core of the monetary planet, if you will.
Right.
Now, we're still going to have Picasso, and people will have a value for their Picasso paintings. You're still going to have your diamonds you're wearing and your gold rings, and you're going to have your beach house because you're going to want your beach house. If you're going to own stocks, you're going to own them because you love the companies, because you wanted to make an investment in the company, because you love the company. You think it's going to go up faster than the rate of monetary expansion. I think that the currencies will be mandated by the governments. As long as there's a United States government, there'll be a dollar, and the dollar will be legal tender. And people will buy things and sell things transactionally in dollars. And the reason why is because the IRS gives the dollar currency tax treatment. If I give you $100 a year ago, and if the dollar appreciates against the peso over the next year, and it's worth 10 million gazillion pesos, and you give me the $100, the US government is not going to charge you a capital gains tax, right? So it makes sense for you to move dollars as currency because there's no tax obligation. But if I give you a Bitcoin a year ago, and the Bitcoin is now it was worth 10,000 a year ago, and it's worth 100,000 next year, and you give it back to me, you're going to owe the federal government $35,000 in capital gain. You're not giving me the Bitcoin. Keep the Bitcoin. Give me the dollars, right? Yep. You want to give me money? Borrow against the Bitcoin, fund in the Bitcoin currency, and then give me the dollars, or convert something into dollars. And that's your currency is dictated by the government. You start your own island, Austin, you can have your own, you can spend Satoshis on your own island if you want to. But as long as there's the EU central bank or the US or the whatever, their tax authority will determine the currency based upon whatever they designate as currency. If the IRS had designated Bitcoin as currency, there would be no capital gain to move that back and forth. When the IRS designated as property, it implies it's digital gold. You should treat it like gold. You should buy it and hold it forever. And then my advice to you would be to borrow against it tax-free, never pay capital gains, never take an operating income. If you must sell it, I don't think you should, because it's the highest quality property in the world and in the history of the world. We never invented a technically more thermodynamically sound, pure monetary property than this, right? This should be the container for the money you're going to hold for your grandchildren. This is it. Better than gold, better than a stock, better than real estate, better than a Picasso, even if you love a Picasso, right?
Right.
So I think Bitcoin is property in cyberspace. And I think that currencies aren't going away as long as governments are with us. And I'm going to hope the government will stick around, because I think there's some good things about having a government. And when the dust settles, you're going to have maybe $100 trillion worth of pure monetary energy in Bitcoin. You're going to have $100 trillion worth of stocks, or 200 trillion, and there'll be price discovery. The value of the stock should decrease until the returns or expected risk-adjusted returns on the stocks are rational. You would expect the value of bonds would decrease such that the coupon on the bond is rational. That is called price discovery, returning to those markets. You would expect that the value of gold will decrease or will start to equalize to its ornamental value. What is it worth to you as an ornament? What's your art worth as an ornament? What is your beach house worth for your value and use? And then there'll be a layer of cash and dollars and euros and pesos and yen and won that will circulate around, and that layer of cash will probably not hold value because we know we're going to keep inflating it. And you ever calculate in the yuan? I do. It's like a 10,000 yuan to the dollar, and it's measured in billions of yuan. It is, it used to be a peso was 1 peso to the dollar, and it's shooting up to 140 Argentine pesos to the dollar on the black market right now. So eventually the currencies will fall, but they'll be used for day-to-day transactions. And if you're wise, your wealth preservation strategy would be put all your money into Bitcoin, don't ever sell it, and then borrow against it. And if you borrow against 10% of your Bitcoin, and then your living expenses don't go up more than 10% a year, and if Bitcoin goes up 20% a year, your debt to equity ratio will fall forever. You will never pay capital gains tax. You will never have income tax. You just need a bank that handles Bitcoin, and the banking sector for Bitcoin is evolving right now.
So also earlier you